Good morning, welcome to Something Saturday. So I happened to see this clip on Facebook that made me go, whoa, I should have a go at that. And it's one of those really quick clips that's done in like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds or something. And I'm looking at it going, I don't get it. I wrote all the measurements down and I thought, right, I'm just going to have to make it in the US size and convert it to my size, you know, A4 size, because I'm an A4 girl, as I've said in the past. So this is the original one that I made up, which is done in the American size thing. So what happens is this opens up and then there's a flap here and you would have your sayings and things in there. You'll notice when I open this one up that it's actually quite nice and even, only when I converted it over to being able to use our size, it sadly isn't quite as even. It's got more of a thing, but you know what? It still works. So it opens up like this and then it opens up like this, which potentially is quite similar. This doesn't actually flatten down all the way anyway when you do this. So I just thought I would show you that as a comparison, but it's kind of cool, and I thought, you know what, it would make an excellent video to show you. Now, she called it an amazing trifold card, and it kind of is amazing, and it's more than tri. I would have said it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 folds, 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 folds. So amazing sync white card. I don't know quite what you class 5 folds as. Anyway, we're going to go with it. And yes, so there we go. I will obviously put all the measurements up in my blog. Well, that's not actually obvious, but I will put all my measurements into my blog. So if you're interested in having a go, you can. You're going to need a cutter because obviously cardstock has to be cut. And then you're going to need, so you're going to want a piece of A5 cardstock. So, oh, I've got something sticky on the back of that. And then the A5 cardstock is cut down. So cut off 5 centimetres, leaving 5.5 centimetres. So you actually do want to score it in half anyway. So with an A5 cardstock, you're going to take it to the 10.5 centimetre point and you're going to score it. Let me just check we're actually in focus. We seem to be. I'm just going to make sure of it. Yep, lovely. All right. I shall try and keep remembering to make sure it's in focus. So you've got your normal size card, but you're actually chopping off part of it. So we're going to cut off 5 centimetres. 5 centimetres. And then you have a piece of cardstock to do something else with in the future. And I'm just going to run the back of my nail down that just to smooth it out. There we go. And in fact, probably would have been way better just to use my bone scorer all the way through. There we go. So we've got our base part for it now. Now we're going to create this long piece here. And this is 10.5 centimetres by 29.7 centimetres, which should be the length of a piece of A4 cut in half this way. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is. I just grabbed it out of my pile. So 10.5. Not sure how that's ended up with an extra little bit on there, but somehow it did. All right, so 10.5. And then, as I say, this should be 29.7 and close enough. All right. So then the easiest way that I found it to do was actually to go from this side. So you go 7, 7, 7. So this one looks nothing like it because I decided to make it wider because I don't like wasting paper. So it's easier if it's a 10.5 for me. So 7, then 7, oh, well, I might as well measure it as 14 really, mightn't I? 14, and then bring my little arm out and we go to 21. Oopsies. 21. And then it goes to 25.2. 1, 2, 25.2, and then you've got the rest of it. Okay. Don't know why I didn't think that. Oh, because it had more of a gap there than it did there. Right. Yep. I know what I'm doing. Honestly, it just seems like I don't. Doing well so far. Excellent. Right. So then this one folds this way. This one folds this way. Then you have one that folds that way and one that folds that way. So it kind of looks like that when it's all folded up. So it's a bit weird. You've got your little bit of a, don't know what design, Tetris design is what I want to say, but I'm sure it's not that. And then we need something for the base and a nice DSP over top of it. So where's my thingo gone to? We are going to go with, so I used normal paper on there. Now what have I done? I've gone with, is that, am I looking at the wrong one? No, I am looking at the right one. Oh, seriously, Heather, get a grip. Cut off 5 centimeters. Okay, DSP. I think that's what I've done, is I've called it DSP rather than plain cardstock, and I ended up using plain cardstock rather than DSP. Pretty sure that's what I've done. So then for some reason I have inches. Oh, because I was using designer paper. Duh. Right. I will definitely put the measurements up on my blog for this, but now I'm just going to measure it up. I got 5 centimeters by 14.3. Yes, that makes way more sense. All right. 14.3. And then I've got a 5 centimeter block. Yeah, because I wanted it so that it was going to be 1/2 centimeter all the way round, so it sat in there nicely. That makes sense. Good. And the other one will be 10 centimeters. Because I know that the inside of my card is 10.5 centimeters. So yes, that will look much nicer on there. Good. All right, there is a reason I'm using this colour too, by the way. I'm not going to be doing the same paper as I used there. And then, yes, so then, well, that's going to confuse things too, because I also did this in inches, I think. Did I do it in inches? Yes, I did. Okay. And now I'm using centimetres. Haha. I'm just going to hop off for a minute, recalculate everything, and then come back. Okay, so I have reworked everything into centimetres rather than being in inches, which is what I would normally use when I'm actually using my designer papers. But that's fine. I'll just go with it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go with 1/2 centimetre less for the first part. So I have pre-cut, and so it will look nice like that. It'll look the same as this that also has the 1/2 centimetre. And the cool thing is that I have that much left of my A4 sheet. So that's kind of nice that the whole lot is cut out of one A4 sheet. I'm happy with that. And then we will move on to the designer paper, which I have measurements of as well. So this time I thought I would use for my designer paper this one here, which is called Nests of Winter. So I have used some of it already, and I was just thinking it would be kind of cool to have a little frieze like that so it actually goes across the card. We will see how it turns out. And I will just drop bits on the floor as I go. Excellent. All right, so this one needs to be 9.5 centimetres high. So I'm thinking if I take it to here so that I've got that top bird on there. And then I'm going to trim away the bottom so that I get it to the 9.5 centimetres. Hopefully the birdies are going to stay in. Oh, now I'm going to have half a bird. 9.5 centimetres. Okay, I might actually move it down a little bit more and take some more off the top, I think. Well, that's a bit disappointing. We're going to have half a bird. But at least we get all the birds on that way, even if we did get, you know, a bit of a wing clipping. That's a shame, isn't it? I wonder if I can use that for anything. Don't know. Might be able to use that for something at some point. All right. So now that we've got that, we then need to go through and we need 3.5 centimetres. I'm just going to make sure we're in focus. Here we go. All right. 3.5 centimetres. So that is number 1. You want to cut them in order. 3.2. 3.2. Then 6. And 1, 2, 3, 6. And 6. And there we have it, last little piece. That'll look quite cute on a card. I wonder if it'll fit onto... No, of course it won't. That would be way too optimistic. All right, I think that is all our cutting done. Hope so. All right, and then now it's a case of adding everything to everything. So I'm pretty sure that's the one that goes on that one. Looks good. All right, and making sure that it's done in the correct order. 2, 3, 4, 5. And how the heck have I cut that one too short? What have I done? Oh no, my goodness. All right, where's my measury thingy gone to? 6. Oh, it's meant to be 6.5. That's meant to be 6. Oh, great. Good job, Heather. Okay, just going to stop the video, recut these. Right, so I'm back again. I have recut these to the correct size of 6.5 by 10, rather than 6 by whatever it was that I cut them to beforehand. On a positive note, now that I've had to go into the next round of this cardstock, I do now have a piece that corresponds nicely with this, so I figure that'll look good on a card. If I pop a little piece of ribbon or something on the bottom of it, that should look good. Right, so let's move on to sticking these together. Surely I can't possibly go wrong with this. Famous last words, as they say. Okay, we are going to use the stamping seal and just touch these down. Picking the right crazy out there. Let me just make sure we're in focus. Don't seem to be out of focus. This is good. One. So now we're going to add these pieces onto here, but what you need to do is make sure that you have folded this one over. So let me use my bone scorer just to make sure that I have folded all the lines nicely. Remember, that is the shape it needs to be. Okay, so if you fold this one over, you're basically going to do a run along here that has all these on it. And hopefully I have cut them right and I have stuck them onto the correct pieces. You'll notice when I use my stamping seal that I always tip it right up when I get to the very end of it. That's so that the glue is right on the very tip for next time I want to use it. So one down. So you tip it right up and then you pull it off. Ooh, and then it appears to have got itself stuck. Oh, look at that. I've just got a little bit of excess glue underneath the rim there, but I'll just pull off. So I'll just put myself onto silent and stick the rest of these on. And hopefully... I've cut an extra one. Okay, I'm not very silent, I know, but that's fine. I might just put, so maybe what I don't know. I don't know what to do now. I've got an extra. Ah, well, there you go. Got to be that one in there. So it looks like I'm going to be making 2 extra cards with this one. That's fine, that's fine. So the other thing you want to do is decide what you want to put into here. So potentially I might actually just give myself another piece like this and just a white slip in there. I'll sort that out later and put it up onto my blog, I think, and then you guys can see it. Because it's not going to work to add those onto there. I mean, I know those two do go together like that, but I think it's just going to look weird if I do that. Yeah, it's not going to work. Okay, so now it's a case of sticking your card together. So, phew, aren't you glad we got to this point in the video? So it's got pretty much this piece here. If you move your card up like that, you're going to find that it's going to be easier to stick that piece on. I'm actually going to use a bit of my Tombow to do this, I think, because then it has that just a little bit of movement while I do it in case I need to have a little bit of movement. Let's just pop that there. So I'll just let that set for a sec. Then what happens, you can kind of see what's going to happen. This back piece is the next bit that you need glue on. Oops. Oh. Now there's heaps of glue. Hopefully it doesn't squidge out everywhere. Actually, I'm just going to move that down with my finger because I really don't want it to squidge out all over the rest of the card. There we go. So now, in fact, you could probably just leave it that way up and pop that flap over like that. And then wipe off the glue. And then you have this. So then you can put a saying in there and you can write in that part. How cool is that? Actually, I really like it in those colours. That looks really elegant. I don't know why it keeps getting stuck just there. Obviously, I've got a tiny bit of glue somewhere in here that is making it stick. Not sure where it is. Okay, so anyway, oh, that was a bit of a fiasco, wasn't it? Hop on over to my blog. I will actually write the measurements up properly for you. I might give you both the inches and the centimetres. Might also give you the original measurements. So the original measurements in the US thingo, and then I'll also give you the measurements that I've used here. I think, yeah, that's probably the best way. And I actually do think that looks really nice on like that. So it centers it better doing it with the centimeters than it did with the inches, the way I did it there. So, yep, happy with that. Okay, oh, I really love this, actually. That is so cool. So, yes, I shall stop waffling. Come back and join me next week, and let's see what I do next week. Oh, what a surprise. That'll be a surprise to me too. Don't forget, share the love if you've enjoyed it. And can't think what else to say. Okay. Thanks so much. Bye.